Hi, Assalamu alaikum, peace be upon you. My name is Iqbal Nasim and I'm the founder of the Transform My Prayer program. And I'm excited to be here with Muzz to talk to you a little bit about the importance of prayer in our lives. So here we are in Ramadan. It's an amazing time of the year, special time of the year. And what are we trying to do? We're trying to develop a relationship with our Lord. And as we know, getting married is about finding and establishing, developing the most important relationship that we have with another human being. And human beings are all about connection. We're all about relationships. And that's exactly what we're trying to do with our Lord. Beyond our human relationships, the most important connection, the most important relationship that we need to keep strong in our lives as believers is the one between us and God Himself. And that's what we're doing in Ramadan. And all of us, we all experience that increase in faith in this special month of Ramadan, a month in which we fast, we say no to things that are normally we partake in and normally lawful for us, but we say no to those things to develop a sense of higher spiritual connection with our Lord. Now, when it comes to marriage, studies have shown, and common sense tells us, that one of the most important components of a successful marriage is consistent, non-negotiable, one-to-one time with one's spouse. An opportunity to make time for each other, to express our emotions, our feelings, to hear from the other person, to interact and to learn more about each other and find out more about each other. That's what makes for a successful marriage, or at least it's a key building block. And guess what? That's exactly the same principle that is behind the prayer, the salat. 5 times a day, our Lord invites us to stand in front of Him, to stand before Him in worshipful devotion, to remember Him, to thank Him, and to share our struggles with Him, to ask Him for guidance, and frankly, to ask Him for anything else that we're looking for at that particular moment in life. So that's what prayer has got to do with marriage, and that's why it's really important that whether you're looking to get married or whether you are married and you want to continue to develop a really strong marriage, that prayer occupies a central place in your life. So now, although many of us understand the importance of prayer and we understand its benefits, let's face it, the truth of the matter is that many of us struggle with it. And I would say that there are 3 main struggles that we face. Number 1 is a lack of consistency, 2, a lack of focus, and 3, a lack of fulfillment. What I'd like to briefly is just describe each of these problems and give you one tip that you can actually implement starting today, and perhaps to make your prayers this Ramadan and beyond much, much better. So a lack of consistency. We know that we are to pray 5 times a day, and unfortunately sometimes many of us, we struggle with that. Things get in the way, we become busy, we don't really plan, or we aren't disciplined enough to achieve, if you like, that milestone of getting all 5 prayers in on time. But there's a simple tip here, something that we do frankly for anything else. You see, if you think of prayer as a meeting, then just do what you do for all your other meetings. I mean, I know that I live and die by my diary. If it's not in my diary, it ain't gonna happen. And so what I do actually is I actually put the prayer times in my diary. So the night before, I'll plan as I'm thinking about what I'm going to do the next day. Like with everything else, it just fits in and then I carry on. But the fact that I'm seeing it there in my diary, in my schedule, and treating it like a meeting, like all my other meetings, really, really helps to normalize the prayer and helps to keep me disciplined. So hopefully the same could work for you. The second problem is a lack of focus. You know the feeling, I know the feeling, that we're in the prayer, we're there, but we're not really there. We're not really concentrating on what is going on. Now here I'd like to tell you about the golden minute. So what I say to people is this, that you've prepared for your prayer, you're about to start, you're about to raise your hands and say, Allahu Akbar, God is the greatest. But before you do that, just wait. Take a minute. So you can just stand there, hands by your sides, right? Close your eyes, just reflect, focus. Think about who it is that you are standing before. So you bring the consciousness of God in front of you. You think about your blessings. I like to fill myself with gratitude before I begin, right? And as you think about these things, think about the smallness of this life as compared to the vastness of the life to come. All of these thoughts, all of these emotions, what they help to do is really filter out all of the things that you might have been in your mind from what was just happening before the prayer began. So you're notching up your level of concentration, your focus, and then you begin. And what can be especially helpful in this time is frankly just to breathe. Sometimes just deep breaths, 3 deep breaths, and you realize your shoulders settle, you realize you feel a bit more relaxed, and then when you begin, it really is quite a different experience. Now initially it's not easy, you'll be surprised how difficult it is just to stand for a minute and to focus, just to be still, because we're so used to just doing stuff all of the time. But you just try that and I think it will make a really big difference for the way in which you start the prayer and hopefully continue throughout. Finally, the issue of fulfillment. And really this comes down to the issue of meaning. You see, a lot of us, and I've done, through my work, I've experienced this with so many people now, that if we think about it carefully, a lot of us, we say words in our prayer that we don't fully understand. The prayer is offered in primarily the Arabic language. And when we say these words, we might have learnt them as kids sometimes, and we just say them, and we just, got into the habit of saying these things, but we're not really thinking about what it is that we're saying. So therefore, if you're not expressing ourselves with meaning. And so it's like any other communication. It's like, in the context of marriage, for example, or any other communication with another human being. If we're not expressing ourselves in a way that's meaningful, well, clearly the fulfillment aspect's not going to be there. It's not really coming from the heart. It's just sort of coming from the tongue. But we want it to go deep. So one thing to do here, and this does, I'm afraid, require a little bit of work, is to really take the time to think about, well, what are these words that I'm saying? What do they mean? And frankly, to practice saying them with that expression, with that tone, right? So that you're really expressing yourself from your heart. So those are 3 problems, but there are solutions. And there's more that we can do to actually build up on our prayer to make this a consistent way of developing this most important action of our life throughout our lives. Now, it's Ramadan, and I'm really excited to let you know that as part of a collaboration between Transform My Prayer and Muzz, I'm here to offer you complimentary access to the Transform My Prayer program to help you increase the consistency and quality of your prayers. So if you found those tips useful that I just shared, well, there's a whole lot more which can really help you and make this practical and just be your companion, frankly, throughout your life to help you keep on a consistent journey of improving your prayers. So what is the Transform My Prayer program? Very briefly, well, it's 10 hours of pre-recorded content which is released to you bit by bit in very, very short bite-sized videos, which I have developed after years of trying and testing different approaches to helping people improve their prayer. Tens of thousands of people have been participating in this program, and it's been an amazing source of benefit for so many around the world. So I'm hoping it can be of benefit to you too. So all you need to do is click on the link and put in the code MUZZ100, M-U-Z-Z 100. But there is one thing you need to be aware of, that there is an expiry date to this offer, and that is Sunday, the 9th of April, 2023. I hope this has been really beneficial for you, and I hope that you will sign up and take advantage of the free offer for the Transform My Prayer program. I hope to see you on the other side so that I can help you and be with you on this journey for as long as it's beneficial and helpful for you. Have a wonderful and blessed Ramadan. Take care. Assalamu alaikum. Peace be upon you.